Over 1 million cinema lovers have already subscribed to Film Companion. What are you waiting for? Hit the bell icon and join our film family.
She's a glamour girl, let's give her dancing and, you know, a hero's romance angle or whatever.
Yeah.
This one's a pure actor, let's give her those small town roles which are very impactful, which are empowering for women. So there are so many labels attached. I don't want to be labeled. There's only so much you can do with the kind of work that is coming to you. No, like you have to make a choice from whatever handful scripts that come to you. You either, if the right films are not coming or the ones that are not exciting you, what do you do? But it's so funny why people think a glamorous part can't have performance.
Absolutely.
You know, why?
Yeah, those are not mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vani, such a pleasure to see you. Congratulations on Chandigarh Kare Aashiqui. You know, you made a very risky choice and it has paid off. It is easily the best performance of your career. So, big applause.
Thank you. Means a lot coming from you.
You know, Vani, the scene that I loved most in the film was that one in which Manvi tells Manu that she's already been through so much that she's not afraid of anything anymore. And you know, there's a hint in your eyes which kind of suggests how difficult this whole transition has been for her and what all she's gone through. They don't elaborate, you don't go into any major explanations of what has happened, but it's enough. You know, tell me about that specific scene and what was Abhishek's brief to you for that?
So clearly I haven't walked a mile in their shoes and you know, it's far more greater complexities that they're dealing with on their, you know, in their day-to-day lives. But whatever that I could, you know, these conversations, I had a couple of conversations with trans girls while preparing. I spoke to them, whatever insight I could gather from whatever they were willing to share. That plus the documentaries and interviews and everything that I was going through, I think as a human being on a human level, you realize the things that you take, you know, for granted, and not even in your subliminal ways, it strikes you that something so, you know, something so easy that could look, that, you know, is normal for us, you know, our basic rights, our basic inclusion in the society that we perhaps take for granted can be so hard and be one of the biggest battles that they're fighting. So I think it on a human level to understand that and to empathize, of course, with whatever capacity I could, being a cis girl, I just wanted to do it from some place honest in my heart. And I think that for me was very important. I think, you know, there are times when your headspace needs to kind of match to what your beliefs are, and when that happens, then you tend to automatically get the lines right and the emotion right.
What were you most afraid of?
I was afraid of them not being able to associate, the community not being able to associate with Manvi and not being able to connect or resonate with her. That was my fear. My fear was for it to not look like an attempt gone wrong. You know, I didn't want to attempt it, which of course it can go right or wrong, but yeah, I just did not want them to feel that this is just another, I don't know, a caricaturish or something gimmicky or like a half-baked, half-hearted attempt to perform a trans girl's part in a Hindi cinema, where I don't think it's been ever done before in Hindi cinema.
But Vani, most of the responses I saw from the community are very positive. You know, we had Ghazal Dhaliwal, who's a trans writer, give us her take on Film Companion on the film, and she said she was extremely moved by your performance. But she said that her concern was that trans women would look at Manvi and think that I can never be like her. That you have almost set a sort of unattainable standard of beauty. You know, is that something you think about?
There are, you know, there are also people who I have seen, witnessed on, be it social media or in interviews and otherwise also, like Dr. Trinitra from India, you know, someone like her. Then you have a trans Miss, you know, trans Global 2021, Naz, her name is Naz, I'm forgetting the full name, but she, you know, who's won a beauty pageant who's beautiful and stunning, and someone like a Valentina Sampaio who's a Sports Illustrated model who's so stunning. You know, there are so many beautiful looking women, and I feel with the advancement in technology and science and all, it is achievable. It is not something which is unattainable, and I feel I have seen those people as references, and that's how one has created a Manvi, you know, keeping them in mind. And also the fact that, you know, the audiences who are walking in, they're not all from a progressive headspace.
Of course
you know,
not.
there are so many regressive people who have always had a reference of a man donning a woman's attire, and either you're becoming a butt of the joke, or you're something's very, not obnoxious, but how do I say, eccentric, of unusual.
Yeah.
So that stigma or phobia that is attached, that oh my god, there's something abnormal about them, that is something one was trying to kind of steer away and create that sense of normalcy, so that people can accept them. At least there's a conversation, a dialogue that starts.
Yeah.
And people can kind of, you know, to break that preconceived notion that they're already living with, that can be seen from a different lens. You know, those people can see trans people from a different lens.
Tell me, did you ever, before you said yes, were there concerns about your image, your brand, either for you or for the team around you?
Honestly, no, because I know I've heard this from a lot of people where they've come and they've appreciated me and they're saying, okay, this is a brave choice, this is a bold choice. When I read the script, I was genuinely blown away. I genuinely loved it, and I as an audience, I want to watch films like these, you know, and I hope in the future there are many more storylines on trans people with different narratives, and they can be told in different ways. So for me, my biggest worry was how is it going to be presented and the treatment of Manvi, the character. And with, I think, my luck, I got Abhishek Kapoor, who's a filmmaker whose aesthetics are very on point. As an audience, I have connected to his work, you know, and I loved his world of cinema that he brings. So I knew that someone like him, someone like an Ayushmann Khurrana, who's kind of, I think he does these amazing thought-provoking portrayal of characters in his films and does it so responsibly. I did get that sense of comfort and confidence from my team, from my co-actor and my filmmaker, that it's not going to go wrong. Even with the intent, you know, sometimes it's a tricky thing. It can incredibly be right or go terribly wrong.
Yeah.
But the chances seem very minimal with a team like that, you know, with a filmmaker like that. You feel that you're in the safe hands, and there we were all kind of on the same page, which was less scary for me. Yeah.
You know, Vani, I find your career very, it's actually remarkable. You know, you start in 2013 with Shuddh Desi Romance, you then don't have another release for 3 years, basically. Then you don't have another release for 3 years more, you know. And you have spoken about how you are essentially a very secure person and a very secure artist, but still 3 years is a very long time.
It is.
How did you at that time, through those years, sort of just say, it's what I'm going for and it's fine, it's taking its time? How did you do that? It's amazing.
When you put it like that, you know, I think living those 3 years didn't feel as long as now when I'm hearing it. Now it's suddenly, I think it's kind of upon me, that it's dawning upon me that, oh my god, yeah, 6 years of my life I was just sitting.
What did you do? Like, were you just working on yourself?
I was working on myself. There are different things I was, you know, I mean, as an actor, I think I've had a lot of me time to kind of introspect and work on myself. And of course, there were other things like brands and this and that was keeping me, you know, meeting all my basic necessities, like paying off the bills and everything. But I feel like there's only so much you can do with the kind of work that is coming to you. No, like you have to make a choice from whatever handful of scripts that come to you. You either, if the right films are not coming or the ones that are not exciting you, what do? You know, you try to pick from whatever that you get, make the most of it, and things which I don't have a conviction for, which I don't feel I want to do it. If it's not giving me any kind of satisfaction as a person, I'd rather let it go. You know, so my options are literally very limited. You either compromise and you go ahead and do 5-6 films where a filmmaker like Gattu would never even think of you. You know, he might not have thought of me if I had possibly done some other films and made myself, I don't know how to say it. What's the word for?
Sort of more visible in a sense.
Yes. So I tried to make correct choices which seemed correct to me.
No, but it's also brave. It's also brave to sit back and say that I'm not going to be seduced by, just wanting to see myself on screen. Did you have sort of insecurities?
I have to agree, yes, that it is not the easiest thing to do that. There are a lot of people who come in, they say, oh, okay, you're working with this one and this one. Now just sign films when, the time is right and be visible, because it's like out of sight, out of mind. And the fact that you're a female actor, you have only that much window, and in that window you can make this number of this money and have that amount of fame, and then bounce with your life and go do something else, but you make the most of it in your prime. I don't know, either I'm very twisted or I really have some self-belief in myself that I'm not willing to compromise and settle for something that I don't want in life.
So tell me, how do you decide? Because this year, of course, you've also had Bell Bottom. I think it's the first year that you've had 2 releases in a year.
Midst of pandemic, I have shot 2 films. This never happened otherwise in my career.
Which is amazing. But tell me, Vani, okay, that film, right? It's not like you had a big role. You were, of course, you talked in an interview about how it's a big deal to be cast opposite Akshay. And I get that. I mean, he's a superstar. It's massive mileage. How do you then pick? Do you say, okay, this film I'm doing for this reason, and this film I'm doing for this reason? Are you very clear on that?
I am clear, and what happens is, like how you're saying, there's also a certain audience reach you want. Someone like an Akshay Kumar with his films, he has that audience appeal, and that many people view his movies. So sometimes you need those many people to view, and not every filmmaker works, keeping in mind that. So if I'm not visible at all, I don't know how many people must be thinking of me even while they're trying to cast for a film.
Right.
So there's a certain amount of visibility that of course I need, but I don't overdo it where I feel this could hamper my chances of getting a better script in hand in the near future. And working with an Akshay Kumar was a different experience altogether. I mean, he's one of the biggest stars of a country, and there's also a certain amount of experience you gather from working and observing with people. So that was a different reason. Chandigarh is a different reason.
I also have to ask you, because I was the sort of lone champion of Befikre, right?
I was so happy you liked our film.
Listen, Adi, it was so funny. I met him and he said to me, you got more flack for Befikre than I did. I died laughing. But I have to ask you, so that was obviously a major sort of movie, a major milestone in your career, and then it doesn't work. How do you get over that?
It was heartbreaking for me that it did not get the love that one was hoping it would get. And with the team and the film, and I think my attachment to my character that I was playing and I believed in. And I honestly liked my film, not because I'm associated to the film, but I genuinely enjoyed it. My friends, and there are times, when journalists are interviewing me and they're saying, but we loved you in Befikre, and I'm like, please tweet about it, because clearly everybody thinks I'm cuckoo, I'm the only one who's loving my film and nobody else does. So I think it was important to me for so many reasons, that film, but it didn't get what we expected it to. So it did break my heart.
How do you process failure?
I was quite low after Befikre. I was low, and but then you just gotta pick yourself up, because there is literally no option. What do you do? And I'm sure the nature of the business is such that some film or the other breaks some actor's heart. Where you put everything into it, and it doesn't work. And I'm sure I'm not the first one or the last one to experience it.
Of course not.
So I tried to not let that affect in my next film. And War for me was also maybe a reason, something like after Befikre, I got a film which is of that caliber, that big, working with the Hrithik Roshan and all that kind of also got me the acceptance maybe a Befikre might not have garnered for me.
So Are there sort of strategies in place for, now that Chandigarh has given you this kind of heft as an actor? What are you thinking? Like, do you strategize, or are you just open to the world?
I'm only hopeful that this film can hopefully reach to an audience and filmmakers who can potentially see me in a good content-driven film. Because what happens is you get labeled and boxed very fast, and I'm sure you know that. Especially for girls. Acha, she's a glamour girl. Let's give her dancing and a hero's romance angle or whatever.
Yeah.
This one's a pure actor. Let's give her those small town roles which are very impactful, which are empowering for women. So there are so many labels attached. I don't want to be labeled, and it's very hard to. You might see yourself being able to pull off just about any other role, but it's important for the filmmaker to see you like that as well. So I'm hoping this film can kind of give them the confidence to cast me, or at least consider me for women-driven or content-driven films.
And are you somebody, Vani, who would go out and ask a director, or sort of let it be known that yes, I would love to work for you, or are you too shy to do that?
I'm too shy. But I've been told by my team that this is not going to work because you're anyways hardly visible on camera and in films, and if you don't even take that step, nobody's going to know, you're just then procrastinating, and I can't afford to do that for the rest of my life, and I have to. So I think what I do is there are some certain filmmakers who I have approached, who I have texted, and I have asked for a meeting if I'm inclined to work with them. But it doesn't come that easy to me, and it's not the most comfortable situation for me.
Yeah. And would you be willing to sort of lose the glamour?
Of course. For Shuddhi Tara, I don't think was glamorous. Did
Yeah,
you find
no,
her
she
glamour?
wasn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think she was glamorous at all. They never used to make me wash my hair for like 4 days, 5 days, a week, 10 days sometimes, just because they wanted her to look very different. Nothing, no blow dry, no nothing. So except the song Gulabi, where they still glamorized her a bit, but yeah, just it wasn't glamorous, I think.
Tell me, what have the last couple of days been like for you? Are you already noticing a change in people's responses to you?
It is overwhelming. People are appreciating my work. They are appreciating my work and performance, and it is making my heart full with love, because I feel this is something what we all want at the end of the day, a validation from your audience. You're not making art to sit in your room and just look at it and feel good about it. You want people to also celebrate it with you and love it for how you see it and how you perceive it. So I think I've pretty much kind of managed with this one to an extent. I am finally feeling the love.
But you're still looking unsure.
I don't know. I'm always unsure. I think I'm very unsure of everything. I'm always, I think I always underplay it and feel unsure of things.
Have you seen any exciting scripts, or is it too soon?
It's too soon. I'm still hoping for things to kind of pick up after this. Yeah.
Tell me, finally, Vani, what for you at this stage in your career, what's the biggest challenge?
To get the right films. That is my biggest challenge, to kind of prove yourself as an actor is one of the hardest jobs, because those many opportunities don't knock at your door. Those many people don't view you like that, and especially when you've done a film like, I don't know, where, Befikre, where they thought, oh, it's nothing to do with performance, and it was all physical intimacy was heightened more than the performances. Or War, where I had a song and a very small part, which was not viewed substantial enough. Yeah. So I think what happens is, again, like, those many opportunities have not knocked at my door where I could show my caliber, my potential. Luckily, I got a Chandigarh Kare Aashiki. Luckily, I got a Shamshera. But there's, those many filmmakers need to make those many films, because only a handful of actors who've proven their worth in the past with a certain role, they're always their choice. And, you're always kind of trying to look for scraps, the leftovers, So I'm just hoping that, I'm hoping that good content-driven films can be made in a much larger quantity.
But with something like Shamshera, Vani, it is Ranbir Kapoor, who's of course massive hero. Do you push back and ask for more for your character?
Maybe I don't have so much of a leverage to, ask a director or a producer and go and be like, but listen, I need you to work on my character and make it bigger and more fleshy and meatier.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But while I'm getting a narration, I'm also assessing how much is it working for me and how much is not working for me.
Right.
So if it's working for me, I will go ahead with it and I'll do it and I'll try to prove myself within that limited period, that whatever the time, the screen time I have. But someone like a Karan Malhotra again has written my part with so much empowerment, even if it's a period drama, I feel like she's empowered and she's somebody who's very pivotal to the story and very, very pivotal to Ranbir's character in the film. So it's a new territory. I've tried something new. It's different, and I love commercial cinema. I want to be a commercial cinema heroine.
Of
so
course.
I enjoy that, and
Yeah.
it worked for me.
So you never think that you might be too glamorous for your own good?
I've never thought like that. Am I? I don't know. I don't think so. Shuddesi is my only reference point where I can. And Aha Kalyanam, the Band Baja Bharat
Correct,
remake.
the remake.
I wasn't glamorous.
The
in
Telugu
that.
remake,
Yeah.
yes, of course, with Nani.
Yeah, and hopefully someone will now see me as an actor and be like, okay, let's de-glam her and give her something. But it's so funny why people think a glamorous part can't have performance.
Absolutely.
Why
Yeah, those are not mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
why would we segregate the two like that? I don't know. You could be glamorous in a movie and perform really well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I'm hoping for those films as well.
Well, listen, good luck and may good things come your way.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Hi, this is Bani Kapoor, and please don't forget to subscribe to Film Companion.